dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, and invited guests and dear participants. I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present here. I, Dr. Praveen Kumar SK, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, was the convener of this NWSAI 2026. It's my honor to be the master of the ceremony, and it's my privilege to welcome you all to the inauguration of 3 days national workshop on sophisticated analytical instruments organized by USIC JUD under the soft component activities of PM Usha and co-sponsored by DST SILE. The aim of the scientific instrument workshop is to equip the participants with the practical knowledge and the hands-on experience in the modern analytical instruments, and to enhance the research accuracy and strengthen the technical competence essential for academic and industrial research. So to begin this auspicious occasion, so now I would like to call Ms. Arpita Shanbag to render the invocation song.
मुदाकरातमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विनाशिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशुते वदैक्यकं नताशुभाशनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकं। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेदरोदरं वरं विरीवमत्तमष्करं कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं नमस्करं नमस्कृता नमस्कृयोमि भास्करम्। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। नितान्त कान्त दन्त कान्त कान्तकात्मज अजिंक्य रूप मध्यहीन मध्ययाय दन्तक हृदन्तनेरिरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिन तमेव दन्तमेव तम् अजिज्ञयामि सन्ततम्। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मुदाकरातमोदकं सदा मुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विनाशिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशुते वदैक्यकं नताशुभाशनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां। Thank you.
Our heartfelt gratitude for rendering the beautiful invocation. Thank you. And now, may I request everyone to rise for our Nada Gite, and I would like to call Amrita Bhakti Aunty to present.
जननीय तनुजाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते जय सुंदर नदी वनಗಳ ನಾಡೆ जय हे रस ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ ಭೂದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನಾವೇಶ ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಜಿನನುತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಶಂಕರ ರಮಣುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದಿವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ರನ್ನ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಪೊನ್ನ ಪಂಪಲ ಕುಮಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಮಂಗಳಧಾಮ ಕವಿ ಕೋಗಿಲೆಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯಾರಾಮ ನಾನಕ ರಾಮಾನಂದ ಕಬೀರರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ತೈಲ ಪವೈಸಳಲಾಡಿದ ನಾಡೆ ಕಂಕಣ ಜಗನರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗಾ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸೀಕ ಜೈನ್ಯರುದ್ಯಾನ ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ದೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಗಾಯಕ ವೈಣಿಕರ ರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಸುಂದರ ನದಿ ವನಗಳ ನಾಡೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
We extend our sincere thanks to the dignified redemption of Nadagite. Now, a plant represents nurturing, the patience and development. Just as the sampling grows and with the care and the dedication, the initiative too will flourish with the collective efforts and commitment. So this symbolic act reminds us of our responsibility towards the environmental sustainability and future generations. So now I request our dignitaries to light up the lamp and welcome. Yes. Okay. So now, now I invite Professor Ravindra R. Kamble sir, Director USIC KU Dharwad, to welcome and introduce introductory note.
Good morning everyone. Respected President of today's inaugural function and Honorable Vice Chancellor of our University, Professor M. Khan sir, former Vice Chancellor of our University and Fellow of all the 3 Science Academies of India and Third World Academy of Sciences, distinguished academician Professor S.K. Saidapur sir, Nodal Officer of PMUSHA of our University and my very good friend Professor Arab Bajantri, Chairman, Chairpersons of the various departments, faculty members of other departments, scholars and dear delegates. So it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all of you. Dear friends, Government of India and state governments have sanctioned financial assistance to Karnatak University for enhancing the infrastructure, and under this almost 1 crore rupees has been reserved for soft component activities such as organizing international conferences, national conferences, workshops like this one. All these are the student-centric components and for the overall growth of the students in the higher education. Under the infrastructure development, various sophisticated instruments will be established in the near future, and various buildings for the different departments will also be established in the future. The University Scientific Instrumentation Center and the sophisticated instruments facility sponsored by DSP, New Delhi, has a state-of-the-art facility in our university. The UC along with SAIF have not only reached the most of the districts of Karnataka state, but most of the states of India, except a few northeastern states for the sample analysis. The research scholars are scientists from academic institutions, industries. They utilize the facilities at UC and SAIF and get their samples analyzed in the reasonable amount of time. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Khan sir, while allocating the funds to various departments and soft component activities in a meeting, suggested to organize hands-on training workshop by USIC, and we happily agreed to his suggestion, and because of this we are all here today. Dr. Khan sir is of the opinion that university campus must always be vibrant, and academic and cultural activities academic activities must be organized frequently in the campus. I have witnessed as a director of USIC that Dr. Khan sir has complete idea, because of vast academic and administrative exposure, about the importance of USIC and SAIF in a serious research institution such as Karnatak University Dharwad. He is always supporting the activities of USIC as well as SAIF. On behalf of all of you and on my personal behalf, I welcome Vice Chancellor Professor A.M. Khan sir to this inaugural function. Welcome sir. With us we have former Vice Chancellor of Karnataka University, Professor S.K. Saidapur, a distinguished academician who was also the director of USIC during 2001 to 2003. So at this moment I am glad to recall that during the tenure of Professor Saidapur as a Vice Chancellor, the MOU of DST was signed with the Department of Science and Technology, and also the new USIC annex building was constructed and inaugurated during his period as a Vice Chancellor. During his period as a Vice Chancellor, the USIC was flourished and developed to the next level. When we invited him to the inauguration of this workshop, he happily accepted our invitation, and he is amidst us. On behalf of all of you and on my own behalf, I welcome Professor S.K. Saidapur sir to this function. Welcome sir. With us we have Dean of the Science and Technology Faculty, Professor Muligudi sir, Professor David sir, and all the retired and regular chairperson, chairman, and all the teachers and distinguished and delegates. And I welcome all of you to this inaugural function. And I wish you very happy and fruitful stay at our campus. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful words and setting the tone for the today's program. So now I invite all the dignitaries to light up the lamp. Sorry,
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೈಡ್
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Professor R.F. Prajanti, sir, Nodal Officer, PM Usha, KUD, to introduce the dignitaries. Sorry, to
Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor and Chief Guest of Extension, we are truly privileged to have with us today a distinguished personality who needs no introduction, Professor S.K. Saidapur sir. Professor S.K. Saidapur sir is an alumnus of the Karnatak University and former Vice Chancellor of Karnatak University and founder director of Karnataka State Higher Education Academy, Dharwad. He carried out postdoctoral research in USA and Germany as fellow of Rockefeller Foundation and Humboldt Foundation. He was a visiting scientist at National Institute for Basic Biology, Okazaki, Japan. His research interests include vertebrate reproduction, animal behavior and evolution of life, history, strategies in amphibians and reptiles. In recognition of his contributions, he received India's prestigious Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize in 1991. Sir M. Visheshwaraya Lifetime Achievement Award of Karnataka State Science and Technology Academy in 2012 and DSc from that is Honoris Causa from Karnatak University Dharwad in 2021. He is a fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore, Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi, World Academy of Sciences, Italy, National Academy of Science of India, Allahabad, and KSTA Fellow, Bangalore. In addition to his research in zoology, he has also written extensively on higher education that are published in periodicals and dailies like University News, Deccan Herald, the Mainstream Weekly and the Daily Guardian, Bhavan's Journal, Vigyan Loka, etc. He also wrote two books on higher education which are very useful in to college and university teachers. That is, first one is Management of Collegiate Education in the 21st Century, Some Insights, which is published by Jnana Books, New Delhi in 2019. And second book is Remodeling of the Universities, which is published by Atlantic Publishers, New Delhi in 2022. Lastly, under the chairmanship of Professor S.K. Saidapur, KSTA brought a policy paper on revamping science education and research in 2021. In brief, Professor S.K. Saidapur is a reputed scientist, inspiring teacher, and an eminent educationist. At the age of 28 years, he is still academically active. So, 70 years. Sir, your remarkable achievements and contributions are inspiring to all of us, and your presence adds great value and dignity to this event. I welcome you, sir. It is my distinct privilege to introduce our own guiding light of the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Karnatak University Dharwad, Professor A.V. Khan, the visionary force behind our university's academic excellence, motivating us to strive for it, promoting a research-driven environment, and fostering interdisciplinary studies and move towards a future-ready curriculum. So, under his stewardship, the university is taking a pioneering leap by introducing a comprehensive AI-based syllabus designed to equip our students with AI skills like machine learning, data analysis, and ethical AI practices, etc. Professor A.M. Khan was born and brought up here in the Dharwad and obtained his BSc degree from Karnatak Science College. He has 31 years of he has 31 years of teaching and research experiences. Served as associate professor, senior professor, and chairman of the Department of Electronics, Director Planning and Monitoring Evaluation Board, TMEP Director, Skill Development Center Director in Mangalore University before assuming the charge as Vice Chancellor of Karnatak University Dharwad on July 7th, 2025. Professor A.M. Khan also has 20 years of administrative experience, served as registrar evaluation, member of syndicate, academic council, finance committee, etc. in Mangalore University. He is also worked as chairman of 25 core committees and member of 40 committees in Mangalore University and Government of Karnataka. He also served as the director of the Computer Center and University Industry Interaction Center, IBM Incubation Center, coordinator of e-governance, coordinator of IT cell, Government of Karnataka, expert committee for software development for KEA, chairman and member of different bodies in 12 different universities of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. His area of research includes biomedical image processing, embedded system design, image and data processing, algorithm development, IC fabrication technology, computer networks. So he is instrumental in bringing so many research fundings to Mangalore University. More than 20 crore funding he has brought, including PM Usha, and out of PM Usha grant, about 9 crore worth Center for Excellence in AI and Machine Learning is establishing in Mangalore University. He also has international MOUs with Indiana University, Pennsylvania University since February 2023, and Cardiff Metropolitan University, Wales, UK, under Karnataka Wales Partnership Program since 2023, with 5 industries and 2 major hospitals for research activities like PS Hegde and other institutions in Mangalore University. He has carried out 4 patent level works like development of heuristic method for multicasting in optical networks, patent which is published in 2023, and another one is the wireless network system. He is life member of various international and national organizations. He has successfully guided 15 students and 6 students are still working. And he has best 5 purpose awards, and he has published more than 200 papers and based on more than 200 students in research and industries. Has been awarded 2 best paper awards and outstanding scientist award in 2021. We are deeply honored to have you presiding over this inaugural function of this 3 days workshop. Welcome you.
Now presenting a bouquet to the invited dignitaries. So now I request Professor Arvind Mulimani sir, Dean Faculty of Science, to present the bouquet to our Honorable Vice Chancellor A.M. Khan. May I request Professor M. David sir, Director PMEP, KUD, to present a bouquet to chief guest, Professor S.K. Saidapur sir. I request Shivkumar, instrumentation engineer, to present the bouquet to Professor Ravindra R. Kamble sir, Director, UCT Dharwad. Thank you all for gracing the occasion with your presence. Now, the moment we are all waiting for. So now I request our chief guest, Dr. Professor S.K. Saidapur sir, to deliver his inaugural address.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Friends, especially the young budding scientists who are here to learn something about the instrumentation technologies, their users. Am I audible to the last line? Should be audible without that also. Teachers. So, without going into very formalities, let me thank the Vice Chancellor and the Director UC for inviting me to be part of this training program. It was always on my mind that USIC should provide training to users, and it was a dream. Well, it was not realized. It was a dream. We always thought of that. And I feel actually now that the USIC is so well equipped with around 30 or 40 important equipments, you should conduct at least half a dozen workshops like this in a year. Whether it's funded by some schemes or otherwise on self-financed basis also, you can conduct for those interested. Even 20 people, doesn't matter. What is important is that the instruments are kept to use. What is important is that techniques are made known to the users. And what is important is you are helping the furtherance of science. That is ultimately the more important. It's not necessary that you be a great scientist, but you can be a great facilitator of science growth. Whatever one can do, one should do. So with this brief few general remarks, I would like to now say some things, not much about instruments, not much about techniques, because you have experts who will be talking to you, showing the experiments and how to conduct experiments, use experiments, etc. But I would like to talk about something general in terms of what research is all about. I will talk about that aspect. Because instruments, you know, is something which the experts have to talk. When I was doing research, for example, I did not have even a 4-function calculator for simple calculations also. You have to use something called log tables. And as a biology person, using log table also is a headache. So that is the kind of background we grew. And then of course things changed. Many new things also came our way as we did that. Now coming back to, my address is not for the senior faculty members sitting here. It's for the young budding scientists versus scholars or young faculty. Now you all joined for research. It's a wonderful thing. It's a great opportunity to do research. But what research is all about? Why should one do research? How to go about it? What is expected? And what you would like to accomplish and so on. Some of these general points I would like to touch. Of course, in what I can say, in a random flow manner. It's not well organized. Because it's not organized. I thought whatever provocation I get after coming here, I will say something. That is how it is. Because at my age of nearly 80, I don't have to impressed about my teaching abilities or qualities or this or that, but say something that comes out of my experience, my feelings, my convictions. That is something I would like to convey. Now, why does one join for research? Those were the days when we joined for research, we were keenly interested in research. For example, I wanted to do research because I thought this is something I like, I must do that. I did my subject zoology because I was interested in zoology. Because my college teacher was excellent in zoology. I mean, one of the finest teachers I got into when I was in a college, and that interested me to take up to zoology. And I have no regrets so far. And I did that. And then after completing master's degree, then I thought this is not enough what I know, I need to know more, and I also need to contribute something to the furtherance of the knowledge in my field. So I wanted to do research. When I wanted to do research, I wanted to do under a particular person only. But all faculty members were interested in taking me. So much so it happened that Head Department had announced at those days in a faculty tea club meeting, the Saida is joining me. And when I went to approach another professor with whom I wanted to work, he said, you are supposed to be joining the Head Department, how come you are approaching me? Then I said, sir, I have not met anybody. Now I would like to work with. If I do research in Dharwad, Karnatak University, it will be with you. If you don't take, no issue, you will at least try to recommend me to either Delhi or BHU. Because he had friends there. I said, sir, you can do that. If you can't do that, help me get some lecturer's job somewhere till I get that other opportunity. Because you have to do something, you have to come from a middle class family, basically. And one requirement is that you need a scholarship also. Nobody will support the research from parents money and all that. That's not going to happen. My father was an agriculture, little land and all that. So, and in those days, they never managed anything with cash. They always bartered rice or jawar or something when they bought something. Morning when people used to come with ghee or fruits, you will say, okay, so much, I give you so much of this rice or this or that. That's the kind of thing. They did not have so much money also. Anyway, that's apart. I was very keen to join research and then join. And finally, the professor took me. He said, okay, I was his first PhD student. He was also new. And he gave me the problem, which I did not understand naturally, because after MSc, we did not have project work, those days, just papers. He gave steroid synthesizing cellular sites in gonads of this. I had not heard the word steroid for the first of all. And synthesizing in biology, it's all chemistry people synthesize. We don't synthesize. Anyway, he gave it to it. The best part was he never guided me. For which I am ever grateful to him. He never told me what to do, and I was the first PhD student. My laboratory not a single reprint. And I was supposed to work on frog matter, donuts, testing, boring, cut sections, so many other things. And then I tried to look at histology books from library. They all describe only mammalian testis, mammalian ovary. No non-mammalian ovary. They are very different. Now what do I do? So whenever examiners came for practical examinations from Mysore, Bangalore, other places, some experts, senior people who had done work in the field, I used to say, sir, please come to my lab, I want to show some slides. You help me identify which is which part and this and that. No problem, if they will come, they'll see. They were not able to help. And then I tell you, why I am telling my journey is to inspire you if possible. So I lost some 6 months doing something, but not knowing what it is. And then a training program came in Delhi for 6 months. I applied. It was a training in reproductive biology, so that was my field. I said I'll apply. So my professor agreed, I applied, and fortunately I was selected, I went. That was a turning point for me. The topmost professors in the country were invited for that 6 months training program, 4 months lectures, practicals, and then 2 months for project work. So I learned a lot. When I came back, I managed my research. And I did not have seniors in my lab to help me. If I wanted to do a pH, some solution of some, say 7.4 pH, how to do that? I don't know. These are all new for a biology person. We are only interested in fish, looking at them, identifying this and that. So I had to consult some people in chemistry department, and then so anyway it went on. Finally I did my research, I wrote my papers, and I went to professor and said, sir, I have written a paper, is it okay to publish? Just see. Till that time he had not written it to me. And then he asked me, where you want to send? Sir, I will send it to General Comparative Academic in those days. Now it is elsewhere. He said, are you there? Why do you want to send it? It's a very difficult journal. I said, sir, what they will do, they will not hold me prisoner anyway. If they don't accept the paper, paper will come back. Well, I don't have nothing, at least I'll get good comments. That's how I will improve. So I had to persuade to which journal I want to send a paper. But he was nice man, he agreed. So we sent, so we went on publishing papers and finally, but he was one thing he was good. He got my papers overnight with 1 or 2 corrections he did back in election morning. You take in the evening. He used to get up around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to prepare his children to go to school and all that. During that time, he had some time, he corrected my manuscripts here by morning and I sent him for publication. Luckily, I could publish every word of my thesis. So, the point is, he is not guiding with a great boon to me. I had to learn everything. How to organize a thesis, how, everything I said, I proposed, this is what I want to do, sir. What do you say? He said, okay, do it. No problem. He was very nice. He always promoted my views. And so that's how I. Now, if I were to do everything what he told me, if I were to have a guy who would do the spoon feeding, then I would not have reached to the stage where I have reached. That is very important. So research is something, it's a journey, and all researchers enjoy the journey. Don't look for anything, something that is beyond the journey. You must learn, life is also a journey. You must enjoy the journey. At the end of the road, there's nothing. You go to Vrindavan Gardens or some nice gardens in Kashmir, or Mughal Gardens, now renamed something else, but whatever, Delhi. So if you go to the, let us say, Vrindavan Garden in Mysore, from the entrance gate to the last, you see beautiful flowers, gardens, fountains, music fountains. So many beautiful things you see, you enjoy, it's so good. But finally, when you go and reach the end, there's nothing, there's a simple wall. So don't look for something beyond that. If you enjoy your doing research, you have got your reward already. Don't look for another reward. If you got your PhD, you have got your learner's license. It is not even permanent driving license, it is a learner's license. After postdoctoral work, and if you are able to publish your papers on your own, without guide, then you can make it as a permanent license, driving license. So for some people, PhD is the end. That's the highest possible degree the university can give. But what do you do with that? What do you do with the driving license without knowing how to drive? That is the waste. So you must focus on what you do, how you do, and how you manage to get your training, courage to do what is right, and develop a lateral thinking mind. Research is a training in many ways. Research must first of all teach honesty, because your research is as good as your credibility. If you are a credible person, you are an honest person, your research is also trustable. If you are not honest, then your research also is not trustable. It's a very serious issue I am talking about. We should be careful about that, because in today's scenario where artificial intelligence has crept in every aspect of life, it can write a thesis for you, it can write poems for you, it can write essay for you, it can do anything and everything. And of course, before that, many researchers practice plagiarism, practice research, or there are shops outside which can you pay money and your thesis will get ready in whatever field you want. Science, arts, social science, faculty, everywhere. Right under the nose of UGC, these things happen. But nothing anybody can do about it. And it can happen in other universities, colleges, or institutions. Occasionally we even hear plagiarisms and the retraction of papers from even previous institutions. That is very surprising. And interestingly, most retracted papers are in top-notch journals. Others don't bother about other journals anyway. Even from MIT, we have retractions of papers. We have retractions from even IISc and many others. Because there are always black sheeps who will try to do the research wrongly. So, all I want to tell is that research is for actually knowing. Research is good as long as you have curiosity of your results. If you know what results you are going to get, then you have missed the enlightenment of the research. When you do research, you should be anxious about the results. When you are doing an experiment, you should not know what is going to happen, what is going to come out of that. Then you are in business. If you know, I do this, this is going to happen, I know. Then why do it? That is the issue. So research should be inquiry based, curiosity based, and when you get whatever results you get this way or that way, that you should be able to analyze that. And both the even negative results are good. There are some journals which publish negative results, because so that others can avoid doing those experiments. Because you know this is not going to work, it's not going to happen. I take the drug A and see whether glucose will come down. No, it doesn't come down. So publish that also. It doesn't matter. Others need not try that drug again. So that's also good. So what is important is what you do must be credible. Credibility in research today has become a serious problem globally. So a lot of people claim that I have done this, I have done that, I have gone to moon. But actually when others try to do it, they cannot reproduce the results. So your interpretations can be wrong, but not the results that you have got. Your results should be reproducible. Interpretation can be wrong, calculation can be wrong, it happens. Not a big issue. So that I think the researchers should keep that in mind, and you do research for basically two purposes. One is generate new knowledge, if possible fundamental knowledge, that is adding to the fundamentals of a given subject. Or in case of science, if you can't do fundamental research because it is already saturated, Einstein has done, Newton has done, many others have done, I don't have anything to do, okay, doesn't matter. But at least develop a technique. Science and technology. In that area you can develop a technique, that is also good. So either you contribute to the technology or you contribute to the foundational knowledge, and whatever that makes you really a researcher, that's very important. Cut-paste research, plagiarism, or cloning. For example, I do one work, and similar works I go on doing, and then I get a large number of people. That is good. So don't expand laterally, go vertically. That is, go into more and more depth of the research, rather than going laterally, doing the same thing. That is what I do in my biology, is a cloning, like producing one more. So that won't take you too far. So this is something I wanted to tell you. So if research cannot teach honesty, nothing else will teach honesty in life. It's better not to be a researcher if you can't be an honest person. This comes to that. Very important. And what you do, how do you do, people watch, your colleagues watch, your other research scholars will be seeing what you do. And then they talk behind you. Oh, this guy was doing like this, was doing that, this or that. And then someday you become a professor. But then that other guy has already told 100 people that you are not an honest person. So that spoils your reputation. So in life, for a researcher or a teacher, maintaining credibility, reputation, very important than actually publishing large number of PhDs or producing large number of papers and other matter. It's only these days we produce numbers. And the 21st century, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever you say, is not going to be impressed by numbers. It straight away wants quality, technology, something. Modi, if you ask, is but a businessman. He will say, what about this? You do want to do, you want so much money, I'll give. But what is the next? I'll give you invest 1 crore in your developing technology. Will I get 100 crores afterwards? That is the approach. 21st century is also like that. We want every investment to be useful. Useful in terms of alleviating poverty or alleviating sufferings in the society or making good roads or whatever you think of. Some use it has to have ultimately. That is the purpose. Nobody is going to be impressed by the numbers and wrong ways of doing research that will actually spoil. So my appeal to the young researchers is that build your career not only good research, good publications and all that, but same time maintain your credibility as an honest worker, good worker. That is very important. Otherwise, dishonesty and good research don't go together. It's as simple as that. This is what one has to do. So, to sum it up, your research is as good as your reputation. So, try to build your reputation, credibility, and so on. And then make best use of, finally, to conclude, make best use of the training program that you are undergoing for the next 3 days. See how each or a given equipment will be of any help to your research, and whether you can modify the quality of your research also. In the sense, how do you make better research by more thinking? You need lateral thinking. Just doing what the spoon feeding done by the supervisor is no research. You should be able to differ with your supervisor. No issues. No, sir, I will not do that. I will do this. I want to do this. But do you have a question in the mind? What question you are trying to address or solve or look into? That is very important. If your final aim is to get some more PhD, then it's a different thing. What I have said all this for, it does not apply. Because there are instances where we know every 2 years one can get a PhD, but you go to IISc, they take 5-6 years. You go to TIFR or NCPS, they take 8 to 10 years sometimes. I know the cases. Are we more intelligent than those people? Are we more competent in producing papers and researches compared to people in IISc or other places? Let the student take his own time. Let him take 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. It's not an issue. But we should. That was the kind of a situation we used to have. Our teachers never told when to submit the thesis or to stop research or this or that. We used to go on working. Finally, one fine day, the teacher says, because we were not even, we did not even have courage to tell the professor, sir, I have done so much. Can I now stop for research and write the thesis? We never had a courage to ask that. But today, in 2 years, thesis is ready. Really, the experts great. I don't have any comments for them, but I am not that competent. My students took 4 to 5 years. There's nothing I can do. I used to say, if you want to work and do, if you have any question, come and discuss with me. I am there for discussion. But I won't worry about your getting thesis written early, etc. No. And examiners, unfortunately, now you. In our time, RM examiner was compulsory. And not only that, even from India, we used to call experts in that subject. When we have done research in that, suppose I am doing endocrinology or reproduction, so somebody who has done endocrinology and reproduction only has to be the examiner, whether from India or abroad. But today it is not like that. All those who come for MSc, they also come for PhD exam. So today's situation is different. Everything has become easy, simple, etc. Let it be. Always bothering. So with these few words, I think I will close the research. And anyway, I congratulate those who have joined for research. It's a great opportunity in life. Not even 1% or 0.1% of Indian population has a chance to do PhD. So you are very lucky. Once chosen by the God, whatever. So make best use of these 3-4 years that you take to do complete your PhDs, postdoctoral, whatever. But today, our 21st century challenges are different compared to the challenges of the past century. Today, competency matters, ability to make innovations matter. Our certificates don't matter. Our certificates, marks cards have lost credibility. You just have, because I'll tell you, for example, one last, from Delhi to Kanyakumari, I have asked one question to PhD students during their defense of the thesis, while I was. I asked them, what is your thesis? The student will say, sir, this is my thesis. I said, that is some book you have typed nicely, bound and all that. You call any book like that a thesis? Or do you have a thesis inside it or not? He doesn't understand. And supervisors also feel embarrassed. What kind of nonsense question is asking? Everyone knows what is a thesis. And you are asking what is a thesis. And I asked him. Because the reason I asked is 99.9% of theses in India do not contain thesis inside. They have data. They have good data, experimental data, or survey data, whatever. All that is fine, excellent. But that qualifies to be called the dissertation, not as a thesis. Thesis has a different meaning. And when you started looking without a hypothesis, where you get a thesis. So, as a research student, you should know what is assumption, what is hypothesis, what is the thesis, then what is the theory. These words, I mean, this general knowledge one should know. Suddenly someone asked me, for example, other day once again. I mean, even now people ask me questions. I mean, that's Professor Nulli, you know him very well. He asked me, do you have universal laws in biology? He is right in asking this question. Then I had to scratch my mind for a while. I said, laws I have. We have Mendel's laws, which applies to sexually reproducing organisms. Okay. Then we have a few other laws. Hardy-Weinberg law, population genetics. And then Haeckel's law, these are some laws. If you ask me universal law, at the moment I don't have a universal law in biology, like you taught in physics. Chemistry has universal laws, like Dalton's law, some other, Charles' law. But then that question was haunting me. Take a second, I must look for some more. Then finally I was trying, thinking. Finally I realized universal law in biology also one law I can find. It is not said in any books, but it is there. I said, every cell is surrounded by a plasma membrane. That is the law in biology. Show me a cell that does not have a plasma membrane. So, universal law in biology would be a plasma membrane, for example. That is a membrane structure around the cell. It is universal. So, like this, you should be involved in thinking, not only straight thinking, critical thinking, creative thinking, blah blah blah, but problem solving and all that. Lateral thinking is also. And then, as research scholars, I will tell you, every day you must read at least 25 printed pages before you go to bed. 25 pages. When I say, it includes the newspapers, it includes novels, it includes all kinds of trash books, and your subject if possible. But 25 pages you must read.
If possible.
Yes, but make a point that you read 25 pages every day. Because the reading habit is best when you are young. As you grow old, the reading habit comes down. The second is, you must buy books. Think of reading small project work I give you, task I give you, at least one book every month. When I say one book, I don't mean your hardcore science books. No. Read novels, poems, whatever book, anything that interests you, fictions, whatever. At least one book. And buy at least 3-4 books in a year. Today, empty classroom syndrome has become a serious issue. Today, even in America, not many people are going for academic jobs. They are some other kind of jobs. So all these things are happening. So and I tell you, some of my faculty are here, former colleagues are here. I tell you, sir, one of the basic questions I used to ask my during interviews for lecturer, reader, professor post, or any other post concerned academics. I used to ask one question. This was almost for everybody. Because I cannot ask a question in physics, I cannot ask a question in chemistry or economics. As a vice chancellor, but I have to start the interview. It takes one of the questions, 4 or 5 questions. One question I used to ask. Please name 5 books which you have read in the last 5 years. It's a difficult question for an academician. And you'll be surprised, nobody answered. And for literature people, English, Kannada, Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, I asked same question. No answer. Then I said, I will name the books, can you name the author? English also. Otherwise, I will name the author, you will name the book. That also didn't work. And I was interviewing an Urdu lecturer for the reader's post. That's serious. Do you hear the sound? No, that is okay. I'm getting one call.
Better to attend for another
No. So, once I had a very interesting Urdu department. I said, I talked in Urdu. I said, this is not a criticize anybody, by the way, as an example, as an illustration. जाली का नाम तो आपने सुना होगा. हाँ सर सुने. ठीक है. जाली पर 2 लाइन सुने. याद नहीं है सर. तो मिर्जा गालिब तो सीरियल देखा होगा. हाँ सर देखा है. याद नहीं है. याद नहीं है. How about Russia? I went down asking him like Hazrat Ji, इसका भी 2 लाइन मालूम नहीं सिनेमा पे. Then the expert who was from Usmania University asked, "Sir, are you from Urdu?"
Yes. Yeah, no.
And for Karnatak, I used to ask, name 2 books of Poem. 2 books of Bhavendra, 2 books of Bhairappa, things like that. At best they will say 1 book. Second book, one. So this is the scenario. Therefore, this is for our young trainees. I am asking, telling them that read at least 1 book per month, buy 6 books per year out of your savings. Then books don't cost much. If you don't buy a pair of slippers or shoes, you will still get a book in that same money. You can do that. And of course, 25 pages per day. If you learn this much, your training will be useful and successful, because you must go back with some philosophy in mind. That will take you, carry you too far, and it can be a turning point in one's life. It has happened to me many times. If I go on telling, it will take time. So I will stop at this point. And thank you once again, the organizers, for being here.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and motivational address. Your words will certainly guide us throughout this program. So now I request the dignitaries to felicitate our chief guest, Professor C. Saidapur, sir. Now, I call or invite Professor A.M. Khan, sir, or Honorable Vice Chancellor, to present his presidential remark.
Good morning to all of you. Respected chief guest of the inaugural program of this 3-day national workshop on sophisticated analytical instruments being held or organized by UC and SAIF of Karnatak University Dharwad. Professor S.K. Saidapur, the former Vice Chancellor of Karnatak University and a unique fellow of all the 3 academies, Indian National Science Academy, Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, and also Royal World Academy of Sciences, a scientist par excellence, the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, Professor Munjani, the Director of UC and SAIF, Professor Kamble, other senior colleagues, teachers, chairmen of various departments, fellow teachers, participants of this workshop, ladies and gentlemen. After hearing Professor Saidapur speak out of his experience and trying to motivate to what he has gone through, I have no words to say. But as the president of this inaugural program, let me start somewhere and try to connect to what Professor Saidapur has tried to give us a message. We have 40 equipments in our music and SAIF facility. The best of instruments are there. When we were discussing, I told, why don't you provide hands-on training to all the research scholars across the state, across the country, so that they can use it. That's how this training has been happening, and all of you are here for that training. So we will select a batch of 50 students or 50 research scholars, and they'll come and get training. This training should also, further it has got 2 more steps, which are planned. We want to have an online software which the user can book from anywhere, book a slot from anywhere, come only on that day. Instead of coming here and requesting for a slot, one can do online booking for the use of a certain facility and then come and use the facility here. And along with that, any type of work that we do at USIC should lead to a MOU with certain industry. With that aim, we plan we'll have such type of regular workshops with USIC, highlighting the facilities that we have so that people around know the facility here. So my first request to all of you here is use all the facilities of our university. Spread the message. When you go around, tell your friends, your other friends in other universities that we have such type of facility at Harvard. You can use that. And for that, we'll soon develop our online booking system so that you can book your slot and come here. Well, having said that, we heard the life experience of Professor Sedapu. He told us how he struggled through his days as a researcher, as a research scholar, and what led was being a fellow of all the three societies. You know how a scientist develops. So hard work matters. A small part of the journey is similar. My journey is also similar, where my guide was a vice chancellor. He had no time to guide me, Professor S. Gopal. My co-guide was Professor Siddhappa. For around a year he was with us, and then he became also the vice chancellor of Bangalore also. So no guide to guide. Whenever I went to meet Professor Gopal, he used to just call up somebody at Indore or PRNS and tell, my student is coming, you help me. So I had to travel to Madhya Pradesh, get Indore, stay there for 2-3 months, come back. Then again go to BRNS for 1 month, stay there, discuss and come back. So that struggle, really helps. So the message that is given by our chief guest is very apt. So that struggle should be there with the process of journey. At the end, what happened is, when I was about to complete my thesis and about to say submit, my second paper was just approved. At that time, I thought, okay, I wanted to ask my guide, sir, shall I submit my thesis? So by the time Professor Gopal expired, my guide was no more. Big vacuum. And one more co-guide was already a vice chancellor at Bangalore, away from Mangalore. So it became a big question. What should I do? Then my friend was the deputy registrar then, who later became the vice chancellor of KSOE, Professor Shilingaya. He hinted, we were on the way, Professor Hanmaya was the vice chancellor by that time, and we were on the way from Mangalore to Mysore to attend the last rites of Professor S. Gopal. S. Gopal was his teacher at Mysore. So on the way back, after finishing all the formalities, I was just sitting silently in the car, thinking of my PhD, what will happen. I had my own questions in my mind. At that moment of time, Professor Shilingaya broke the silence and said, sir, Gopal was his guide, he was from nuclear physics. So what Khan has to do now? Immediately Professor Hanmaya told, I am also from nuclear physics, I'll help him in completing his thesis. So again I got a vice chancellor for the next 7 months. I was a guide for 7 months when I submitted my thesis. So Professor Hanmaya read through all my work. He used to tell me, one chapter for a permanent. So he used to read almost the night. He told, I'll come to the lab after dinner. So 9 o'clock he came to the lab. He sat, because he told, whatever electronic circuit you have to explain to me before I sign the thesis. Because he was from nuclear physics, he didn't know. And it was last part of the time, so last stage of the work. So the whole lab I set up my circuit. And he was just sitting on the chair and observing me doing all the connections. Till 2 o'clock in the night, he sat there and saw all the connections. The first day, one circuit did not work. He said, okay, no issues. The 5 parameters are working, the 6th parameter will wait and see. So he gave me a chance for another 3 days. I said, after 3 days, on Thursday, it was on Monday, he said, on Thursday again we'll see. And we'll see. On Thursday again he came. That day almost till 4 o'clock he sat. The whole night. I appreciate that aspect of that. He sat through and then he saw a whole circuit. I said, okay, now it's fine. Everything is working. And that's how We had to work. It was not just say spending some time in the lab and finishing. Electronic circuits were to be connected, and that became a very important part, and still it is working at Mangalore University. So, what I want to tell you here is, the guide may be there with you or may not be there with you. We have to work. That's what you, Professor Sedapur, does. You have to work, and you should always think of application-based research. My research should be applicable somewhere. If you are just doing something which brings out a theory or something, immediately we will not find. But let my application, let my thesis or let my work be applicable to the society in some or the other way. That's how I chose all application-based research for my thesis after getting my thesis. Later on, whatever students have guided are all application-based research. Today, you can see ISRO and MCF at Hassan. The real-time control system which controls the satellite is done by my PhD student. He's a scientist there, my own classmate. So my classmate in my BSc, he did PhD with me, he's a scientist, and he has developed that real-time, which is mentioned in the ISRO book of innovations. So like that, somewhere, you should be having, your work should carry you places. When you want to apply for a patent, when 5G was coming, then in India we were still thinking of 3G. In order to reach the peak of 3G, 5G, we are talking of still in between. So some people like Reliance, some people like Qualcomm, they were only telling, okay, 4G are able to use certain bandwidth. But at that moment of time, we were already thinking of 5G application. That led to a patent in fact. One of my students, Chandana, she did that work in networking, the fast switching there between two networks. And that almost came up with the speed of 5G. So that patent we could do immediately. So out of 15 PhD students, 7 of them have got patent covered works, including innovations which are mentioned. So somewhere, if you should strive to make your work towards a patent level work or application-based research, it should be applicable somewhere to the society. So try to do like that. And then at the end, my thesis should contribute to knowledge. It's not that, sir was telling, it's not that I get my PhD and walk away. What are we going to do? That book remains there in your home. Even you will not read it again. How many, including me, how many times have you opened our own thesis and read?
No.
Professor Bajantri, Professor Kamble, myself, and all my friends sitting here. Have we tried to open our own thesis again? Probably not, after we have submitted. So, what should happen is, if you send it to library, somebody who is interested in my work will again see the thesis. That's all. Otherwise, nobody. So, that is why everybody is talking of impact factors, everybody is talking of citations, etc., so that your work is to be read and reread again. So that is why try to do the best of publications, aim for patent, read a lot. As sir was telling, read a lot. Even if it is, say, even whatever instrument you are going to use during your analytical studies, read about the instrument also. Read about the instrument also. We were doing some, say, my work usually used to happen at, say, Nitte Medical College and Yanapa Medical College. They were working on MRI samples. So we used to go and sit with the doctor. If you look at the thesis of my students, the second chapter will have description of the brain, description of the liver, which we had to study. After studying that, we were able to analyze the image and give the best solution to the doctor. Our research was helping the doctor diagnose the certain disease in liver, certain disease in brain, certain disease in bone, etc. So that's how we had to read about that particular, and that gave a lot of knowledge. So read about even the instrument that you are going to make use of. So that is one thing, and reading should happen. Then whatever article you write, even if it is 2 pages, go for a plagiarism test. Online plagiarism already available. On your own you can do it first, at the first stage. Then you can go to a standard setup where targeting is there or some other software is there, you can do that. But try to do the plagiarism on your own. And wait for comments from the editor. Don't publish the paid journals. That's not going to help you. Even if I'll tell you one thing. One paper I had submitted during my PhD thesis, it so happened that when the comments came, when I was submitting my thesis, it was written, communicated. One paper was communicated. But afterwards I got comments from the editors about that. After the comments came in, I tell you one thought came to me, I could have rewritten the thesis. Such beautiful comments were there about the work. So wait for the comments from the editors, from the reviewers, which is very important. With whatever review they are going to give, whatever comments they are going to give, you can rewrite. You can rewrite the thesis, you can rewrite the paper, and that will lead to a very good, very good impact that your publication is going to do. So, application-based research, and sir was telling 21st century. He gave a very good example of a prime minister asking what will I get back in return. So our research always should be marketable. Try to make it marketable. People should pay to read your work. You should bring it to that level, that standard. So this type of thing all you should do. And we have the best of facilities here. Use all the facilities properly. Use them. Learn about all the facilities that we have. Probably with that thing, you can tell that I have used the best of facilities at Karnatak University Dharwad. I was a researcher there, and that will lead to something very important in your career. I wish you all the best. I hope you all have a good time for the 1 week where you'll go through all the instruments. Play with that. Remember, when you are using instruments, as an electronics man, I'm telling you, play with the instruments. What I used to do with my PhD students, somebody said, sir, what is there in the computer? I said, open it. Just give a screwdriver, open it, let him open. Everybody used to look at my face. Sir, only one computer you are trying to open. Let it be what is it. He wants to know. The student wants to know what is there inside. Play with the instrument, don't spoil it. You open it, see what is there. So nothing like that. So you want to, even while using an instrument, you want to use it. What is the peak level where it wants to go? Try to read it. Nothing wrong. Don't spoil it. Do it a good intention. If you do it a good, you use the instrument with a good intention, probably you will learn more about it. The instrument also will be safe. The instrument will enjoy your usage. Otherwise, you are only restricted in using that will not help. So therefore, use all the instruments that we have. You tell all your friends also to come to Karnatak University to use the research facility. That will help you also. That will help other research also. I wish you all the best during this 1 week of stay, and I hope you carry a good message from Karnatak University Dharwad. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. So now, I request all the dignitaries to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, A.M. Khan.
Thank you for last 15 years.
Thank you. So as we all have approached the conclusion of this inaugural session, so now I invite Dr. Vishwanath BJD to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to one and all. Respected dignitaries of the dais and of the dais. On behalf of organizing committee of the 3 days national workshop on acoustic estate analytical instrument, that is NWSAI 2026, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I express our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Professor S.K. Saidapur sir, Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellor, Karnatak University Dharwad, for graciously accepting our invitation and inaugurating this workshop. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We humbly thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor A.M. Khan, sir, for his constant encouragement and visionary leadership that continue to strengthen academic and research institute at our university. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My sincere thanks to Professor Khamre sir, Director Music, the main motivating force behind this workshop, for his tremendous effort in planning and organizing this event. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I also thank Professor R.F. Pachatri sir, Nodal Officer P.M. Usha, for his unwavering support in making this workshop a reality. Thank you, sir. We also thank chairperson from the various department as well as faculty that have gathered here and gracing the occasion. Thank you and all. And I take this opportunity to thank Professor Molimani sir, Dean, Faculty of Science. Thank you sir, thank you so much. And I also take this opportunity to thank Professor David sir, Professor Vedmurthy sir, and all the faculty that have gathered here. Thank you sir, thank you. We are grateful to our visited invited speakers and resource person for sharing their experience over the next 3 years. 3 days. Special word of appreciation to staff of the UC for their meticulous planning, technical support, and seamless coordination. I also thank the supporting staff, administrator, technical, and IT team for their valuable assistance. Thank you everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all the participants from across India. Your enthusiastic participation and engagement truly reflect the spirit of the scientific learning and collaboration. Thank you all. So finally, I acknowledge the support of DST, SAI, RUSA, and PMUSHA, the University Administration, and everyone who contributed directly or indirectly to the success of the program. With gratitude, we look forward to 3 days of this enriching discussion and learning. Thank you all and thank you once again. So I request everyone to gather for a photo session.
Music ಎಲ್ಲ